working with him, what he can do on the field, his versatility at the stud position?
Well, AG, he's an extremely hard worker, a young man who has really an insatiable desire to be the absolute best in everything that he does, quite frankly. If you see him when we first got here, early January, the young man is probably between 200 and 205 pounds. Now he's closer to 230. So you're talking about over the course of 8 months, the preparation that he's put in and the investment that he's made, not only into his mental space, but also his body, has been tremendous. And it's not just him talking about it, but it's very, very visible in his size and his stature, how much of the game that he's learned, and his ability that he's demonstrated both in the 3 practices we had in the spring and the tour of duty, but even now, since we started fall camp. It's been really impressive just to be around him.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Pat, how are you?
Doing wonderful. I just want to talk a little bit about Jaleel McCray. I know obviously the kid looks like he's added some weight, and where you guys are planning to work him in the fall. I think guys can play multiple positions in the offseason.
Yeah, Jaleel has added a few pounds. He has a unique skill set. We think that he can play a number of positions for us, and he's developing and becoming his own player and earning his own way. It's a day at a time. And, we just got pads on today. And so it'll be a process for all of the guys. But Jaleel definitely has a tremendous upside to him.
Next will be Irish Oakville from Warchamp.
Hey, Coach. You guys, you have a lot of guys that come back with a lot of experience at linebacker. You also bring in some new faces who you were really excited about when they decided to come to Florida State. I know the competition's great, but do you, as a linebacker coach, do you sometimes try to get more than just 3 or 4 guys involved, or is it whoever wins the job, they're going to be on the field most of the time?
Well, if you have a number of people who can play, who you feel confident with being on the field, you always like that as a coach. This game is very physical and it is very violent at times, especially at the level that we play. And so you always want to have young men who are prepared, who you can trust and have tremendous confidence in. And quite frankly, competition breeds excellence. And so I like to get as many people ready as possible that are both physically, emotionally, and mentally prepared. And it's my job to get them there. And so we like to have the entire room ready if we can. But that's not always the case, but that's what we're shooting for.
Next is Kurt Weiler from Democrat.
Hey, Coach Marve. So when you've got as many kind of younger, high upside guys like you have, how important does it make guys like Leonard Moore and Rice, those experienced guys, not just what they'll do on the field, but how they'll kind of breed that next generation and kind of help them reach their potential?
What's impressive about Leonard and Emmett Rice, those young men, they take a tremendous amount of pride in this program. And they take a tremendous amount of pride in our room and the standard that room holds, the people who have come before us, and the example that they're going to set once they leave. And so, as a coach, it's really important that I allow them and empower them to have a voice in that room when it's leading the right way. And so it's been really good to watch both of them to grow and for the young guys to follow their leads and follow their steps in certain areas, because I think it holds tremendous value.
Next will be Perry from Tomahawk Nation.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Not too bad. I was just curious, you have a defensive line group that you get to work with talent-wise that you probably haven't had in any other stuff. What does that open up to you on the linebacker end?
Well, it's the D line that we have is extremely impressive, very impressive. And the D-line coaches we have, I think, are some of the best in the world, if not the best. And so as a linebacker coach, it's very, very important that we know and we let those guys know that we respect what they do and that we value them tremendously. So being on the second level behind those guys, man, it's exciting because I know that if we're not playing fast, they're going to make the plays before we do. And so it's important that my guys know that they got to be on their P's and Q's and get those guys ready to roll, because just like I talked about with Emmett and Leonard, guys like a Marvin Wilson, Corey Durden, Robert Cooper, Kane Doe, those guys take a tremendous amount of pride in making sure things are done the right way. And so we want to make sure that we allow those guys to do that and hold up our part of the plan.
obviously you guys were impressed with Steve and Dick's, you know, his month and that's what camp and obviously 3 days during practice. But how, you know, just got Monday and obviously the thoughts are on campus in the summer and then 3 days into their, career, what kind of impression did they make?
They know how to play football now. We're excited. Now they're young guys, so it's still moving a little bit fast for them. You know, being at Florida State is a lot different than being at high school. Being in high school, it doesn't matter what football program you come from. It doesn't matter what part of the country you play football in. Being here is different, and it's a different level. And what we demand and what we expect is it's a very high standard that's hard to meet. But I tell you what, those two young men, they are chasing the standard, and they're working their tails off. And I'm excited that they're here.
Go back to Ira.
Coach, this offseason's obviously been different than any college football players have probably ever experienced. How have you appreciated, or what have you seen out of this team, the way they've been able to, you know, maintain their focus going into camp and then even during camp?
Yeah, I think it's one thing that's been very apparent is how much our players love football. They love this game. And as much time as we've had away from the actual game on the field instruction, we've had the opportunity to really teach football, really teach defensive schematics, offensive schematics, special team schematics in a way that isn't as expeditious as it probably would have been if we're on the field in spring football or just in fall camp in general. And so we really had the opportunity to individualize instruction even more than we would have done in the past. And it's really been impressive to watch just how much our guys are eager to learn just more and more and more information. Because as teachers and as coaches, that excites you. And it helps you want to create more ways to teach them just so that it continues to engage them and they can continue to learn.
Next will be Brendan from Knowles 247.
Hey Marve, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I was hoping you could explain the 3 linebacker positions. Are they all interchangeable from the skill set perspective, or is there something unique about, say, the stud to the mic, or I guess how do they work differently and interact with each other?
Well, we want guys who can run, who are violent, who are great communicators, and who love this game and want to compete at the highest level. You know, in a perfect world, you can input any 3 bodies and they can play all 3. You know, we just like guys who can strike and who can run, man. And so if you like to do those things, we got those 3 positions, we can put you on the field.